Musically Meditated.
Musically Meditated. Musically Meditated.
Welcome to Musically Meditated podcast. I'm your host, Joe Riley. Got my co-host, Sreten Jovanovic.
Hey, man.
What's up?
I'm doing great. How are you?
This is episode 34, and it's called New Format Who Dis. What up? Don't steal our idea either. This shit's patent, by the way.
It is. I'm staring at the patent right now.
We are. We have big dog lawyers up in here at Green Door. So we have really great ideas, so don't steal our shit. But at any rate, first and foremost, please feel free to get involved and subscribe. Musically Meditated. It's on all podcast platforms. Same with the Green Door. Sreten, what's going on with the Green Door?
Just getting ready to. This is the is the middle of June. We got some stuff going on in July that we have to shut up about until it is July or the last few days of July.
That's why we have the lawyer in here.
That's why we have a team of lawyers in here, and they are pointing at me and shaking their head back and forth right now. So I gotta keep it on the hush hush.
On the DL.
Yes.
On that new. That's a new saying. Yes. On that new.
Don't steal that either.
Don't steal that either. I came up with that. I saw it online.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a couple more podcasts coming. We actually met up with a few people this week, last night. We're meeting some people this weekend, so stuff's going to really ramp up, really test how much energy I have.
You don't have any more.
How many days I can go without sleep.
Yeah.
But we actually, what's cool is we might start setting up teams of people too, producers and stuff. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
We got teams.
We got teams?
Yeah. We actually have a really good team at the Green Door.
Right.
At the bookstore, here at the network, here at the studio, like everywhere. It's been pretty cool. So.
Good.
Trying to ramp everything up.
Great.
Because it's awesome. Get super creative.
Yeah, so look for the Green Door Network. That's on all podcast platforms as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. I got to ramp that up too.
We have to ramp up our...
The theme is I've been disappointing, if you ask, Joe. But we're ramping everything up.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I get freaked out with the social media stuff too.
Oh, we're not fans, but it's necessary.
It's so necessary. It's a necessary evil.
And everybody uses it. I use it. It's addictive. It's wonderful.
It's totally addictive.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Green Door Network. Definitely subscribe. And check out Musically Meditated. Subscribe and feel free to participate.
Yeah, get on the Facebook page.
Get on the Facebook. We got the group page.
Suggest some music, comment on the stuff that other people post and what we post.
Because what we're doing right now, it'll be put out there in the future, but the people that post the most videos on the group page will be a guest. So someone's already a front runner. I'm not going to name drop, but I want to feel out other people's music, like their flavor and what they're into, and we can connect.
It's an unspoken contest.
An unspoken.
We don't
contest.
Want to say contest,
but we're kind of saying contest.
Kind of
passive aggressively.
Yeah,
right.
We're all about that passive aggression.
I'm not. You are.
I am the master of passive aggressive.
No, right.
Joe.
But at any rate, let's transition into hip hop history of the past couple months. So it's June right now, but the first thing I want to get into, I wanted to do a whole episode on this. We would need Gabe from Grindhouse to do this. Maybe we can, but today, June 11th in 2002, Atmosphere released his awesome album, my most favorite album, God Loves Ugly. So when I was doing this research, I was just, wow, just amazed. If you haven't heard of Atmosphere, it's a duo. It's an MC. His name's Slug. They're from Minneapolis, and he has a producer with him as well. And this album is definitely probably in like my top 15 favorite hip-hop albums. And it was the first term of emo rap. So, everything is very relationship-based, or troubles with your girlfriend and dealing with social things in life, if that makes sense. But I was really, really happy to see that album on here because it made a huge impact on my life. Like the first time I heard of Atmosphere was because of a friend. I was showing him like old freestyles about Chino XL, and Chino XL is like a beast when it comes to freestyling. And he actually beat Eminem back in the day, like when Eminem was doing that stuff like from that movie in Detroit, 8 Mile.
8 Mile? Nominated for Academy Award?
Right. I don't really watch that stuff, but I know the reel. I got the skinny on the reel, but he lost to Chino XL. They didn't probably put that in the movie, but I've always liked Chino, and I was showing a friend Chino back in the day, and he's like, dude, he sounds like this dude Atmosphere. I'm like, where's he from? He's like, oh, he's from Cali. He's not from Cali. He's from Minneapolis, but my friend moved to Cali at that time, and the girl he was dating probably just said that, so he didn't know, but it was a long, long time ago, so I first heard of him then, and then I had a job, and there was a lot of hip-hop heads there, and I was sharing a lot of Immortal Technique, and the dude's like, hey, you got to check out Atmosphere. So he gave me this album, and it just blew me away, because you could super relate to it. The title's kind of sarcastic and self-explanatory, but, you know, a lot of dudes, most dudes go through heartbreak and struggles, and he shares a lot of stories of, like, his touring and so on and so forth, but it's definitely a great album if you haven't ever heard of it, like, to go back and check out. Like, Atmosphere Slug is a great MC. And another quick thing, I think it was recorded around this year in 2002. It's Slug, it's LP from Run the Jewels. It's Immortal Technique, it's ASAP Rock, and I think Poison Pen.
What is this?
They're just doing like a cypher freestyle like before a show. Oh. And it's from the early 2000s, and they're all together, and it's great. So everybody really needs to check that out. We'll put that in the description somewhere, like the link for that.
We'll throw it. Is there a YouTube? There's a YouTube video.
There's a YouTube video.
Throw it on our YouTube
you know, it's
channel.
like someone's doing it on their camcorder or something.
Yeah.
But like to get all of those dudes, like, yeah, that's another thing I want to say about Atmosphere and Slug. He started his own record label called Rhymesayers. So there's a ton of people, like Brother Ali's on there, ASAP Rock, or Aesop Rock, however you want to say it. Like, really, really big. He has a really huge following, and he's been really huge for independent hip-hop. So this is a great album to start from. And happy birthday to that album. I was surprised to see that. So then we'll transition in this. This could be a whole nother freaking podcast episode, but Wu-Tang released their second studio album, WuTang Forever, on June 3rd, 1997. And that album, definitely in my top 5 favorite hip-hop albums of all time. Like, everybody loves 36 Chambers, yeah, but remember this had the music video.
I like this
Triumph.
more than 36 Chambers.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, I didn't run in any cliques that listen to Wu-Tang or that kind of hip-hop. I discovered it myself through BMG. Shout out to BMG.
Who's BMG?
Buy one cassette. Remember Columbia House and BMG?
Oh, yeah.
Buy 8 CDs for like a penny and get charged like $37 shipping and handling per cassette or CD. Yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff.
My parents did that for me a lot when I was younger.
That's actually how I got my brother into a lot of like Wu-Tang, Soundgarden, like all those guys. I just went and got all that stuff, and I was a tape guy. I never really adopted CD. I just went from tape to MP3.
You're showing your age right now, but it's
whatever.
Okay. I got some tapes for you.
I have my own tapes. I have a glorious. I don't have any tapes.
I'm
anymore.
a tape guy. You don't have them anymore?
Oh, they're somewhere. I have some really weird stuff. I was collecting all kinds of shit with that through BMG.
Okay.
Just paying a ton of money on shipping and handling.
I remember
I'm
that.
saving money.
Yeah.
They're a penny.
They're just shipping you records and charging you $40 like randomly the next month. Like, what? I remember.
But I didn't like the first Wu-Tang album. And then when all the music videos for the second one, they got all the music videos going, and MTV was like, that was in a way the golden age of MTV, right before all the reality shows started going, and a couple of them that were really good. Yeah. Like what do you call it? The house one. Oh man, where they all live in the house.
Real World. Yeah.
So that it was like when Real World, it was like the 3rd or 4th season, and it was good. It was interesting, and then they had awesome music videos. Like all the music videos were really, really good. They wouldn't give you like a seizure, but they were fast and they were really good.
Here was the most important thing I feel like for Wu-Tang, especially at that time. If you look back and really dig deep, as far as East Coast hip hop goes, you had Biggie, who was huge, and the whole Bad Boy thing, and they had that mixture of the R&B and kind of the street sensibility. Mm-hmm. Wu-Tang was that grimy, like they had that grimy street thing going on. And to be able to package that and to promote it and make it commercial was just huge. Because I remember when I was younger, like the lyrical flow and stuff was a little bit too much to comprehend.
Yeah.
You know, so I really got into this album like early college. Like everybody was listening to Wu and De La Soul and A Tribe Called Quest. Like there was this big like resurgence like years later. But going back to that, like Wu found their place of that like gritty street like socially conscious and lyrically conscious hip hop, and like it just.
Am I wrong?
It was huge.
The other thing that I always notice with the beats and like like the disparity between your hip hop knowledge and mine, but like I always thought Wu-Tang sounded like it felt like you knew they were from New York for some reason. You would hear the noise and the way that they made their beats and the audio quality of the beats that you knew that it was like it was New
grimy.
York. Yeah, there was a griminess to it, but like a love for the grime. You know how some people say like they can't live in a very like people go to visit California and they go, "Oh, it's beautiful, but I can't live there forever."
Right.
Like, you know that thing, and then they go back to whatever their regular day life is, where there might be places that smell like garbage or pee, and there's dirt and graffiti and all that, and that feels like home. Some of the Wu-Tang beats and the way that they produced the sound, it like sounded like how you'd think New York City was.
Yeah, they had that. I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Like, they are the grit of New York, especially the earlier stuff. Like this album, WuTang Forever, the RZA was sharpening up his production skills a lot and using different types of drum machines and keyboards. Like, they.
And I like the sampling of the Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, it's the
I
best.
loved it. Yeah.
It is. And the RZA, he's the man. But yeah, that's a really good point. So shout out to WuTang Forever. Out of all albums, like, it's in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. And what's cool about this, it was a double disc. Remember that was big in the 90s too? It was a double CD. So it's really 2 albums in one.
Mm-hmm.
And every member was on there on a regular basis. ODB was as well. Like, it's Wu-Tang at their finest. Like, all the old videos from then too, like Triumph or It's Yours.
Is
like,
Killer
they're
Bees
just
on
great. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the album that Killer Bees was on?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Wait, I'm trying to think. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well,
all I know, we had WuTang Wednesday a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
And my brother posted Killer Bees, like the video, and I totally forgot about that song. And
It's the Triumph one when all the bees are attacking and inspect the decks
Am I
on the
saying
side
the
of the
wrong
wall.
song?
Well, it's called Triumph, but it is Killer
Okay.
Bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That video was so huge back then.
Yeah, I forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
I mean, don't quote me on this, but like the production level and like the amount of money, it was like the biggest production.
A lot of CGI.
A lot of CGI. Like, they spent millions.
That Jurassic Park budget.
It was like a Jurassic Park movie. Remember, like they made a huge deal out of that on MTV. Yeah. So God bless the Wu, man. Thank you for that album. It's forever on permanent rotation in my head, and I don't know, I probably listen to it like once a month. So that was a big deal, seeing like that atmosphere, and then Wu-Tang. And now let's transition into another one. They should have made a movie about this. NWA released their second final album. I'll just say Alpha 4 Zaggin', because I can't say the real thing, and that's how they put it out there. Like, you hold it in the mirror.
Yeah.
But that was released May 28th, 1991. And it was their only second full album released after Straight Outta Compton, because they had 2 EPs in between. They had 100 Miles and Runnin', and I can't think right now. But at any rate, it was their second one, their actual second full release, and Cube wasn't there anymore. And I love Dr. Dre's The Chronic, okay? It's always put on this pedestal. But this is his best produced album, in my opinion. Like, everything. Like, this is where the G-Funk started. And I got to give a little shout out, too, to Cold 187. He's from Above the Law. He shared a lot of his G-Funk influences, and he was behind this. Like, you could tell this album was a total collective of all the badasses at Ruthless Records. And Cold 187 was like the first dude to get into the G-Funk. Like, he did a few tracks with like Tupac beforehand, and so on and so forth. So Dre took that sound from him, and you could hear it on this album, but he took it from him and he did The Chronic, because this was released in 91 and The Chronic came out like a year later in 92. And that was the whole big beef and breakup between Easy and Ruthless and Dre and The Chronic. But this album was definitely like in my top 10. Maybe.
I didn't realize it was such a short amount of time between those two.
Short time.
So that animosity like built. I mean, it built up probably.
Well,
and then they broke, and then they went at each other.
Because Dre felt like he was ripped off, and then Suge went in violently to get Dre off Ruthless Records. And then Easy came back with, "I'm suing you. He's still my artist on paper," and he did. Easy sued, and he still made a certain percentage off of everything Dr. Dre produced. And there's a conspiracy like Easy was killed because of that reason, and then like Suge said some shit like on national television. Remember all that? Like, some HIV stuff. Somebody sticks you with a dirty needle. So there's all these conspiracies going out there, but
also Suge's an idiot.
But you're Suge agreeing to our network.
No, I don't like the comparison because he does stuff like that. I'm all about hugs and buying people sandwiches.
He's the nice version of Suge.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, Suge was their bodyguard during this time too, especially. And the D.O.C, he got in a really bad car accident right before this album. And the D.O.C, No One Could Do It Better. He's on the history thing here too. His birthday was June 10th, 1968. So this kind of goes together. He was one that left with Dr. Dre and Michelle A to start Death Row Records. And the reason why Dre took him with him and Suge wanted him is because he's like the king writer behind the scenes for a lot of hip hop, and people don't know that. And what happened is No One Could Do It Better was a huge album. It was on Ruthless. He was like that sixth member of NWA that nobody really knew about, but then he came out with his solo stuff and it was great. It's like a legendary hip hop album. No One Could Do It Better is what it's called. But when Dre wanted to leave, he needed a writer. And then the D.O.C got in a really bad car accident and lost his voice. Eazy-E actually helped him out so he could still talk. People don't know that either, but it's a fact. Eazy threw down money. Eazy was a great dude. But the D.O.C jumped ship and went to Death Row, and Dre wanted him because he was a great writer. So here's some shit that the D.O.C has actually written. Like Snoop Doggy Dogg, the Doggy Style. Like D.O.C's behind all of that.
Really?
Dre brought him back on board when he did Chronic 2001 as well. Like the DRE and all that stuff. And he even helped groom Eminem. Like the D.O.C is the guy behind the scenes that doesn't get the love that he should get. So happy birthday to the D.O.C. And he was really big and really huge on this Alpha 4 Zaggin album. Huge.
Is he still around doing it?
Yeah. He's got some really, really good interviews. People should check him out. It's on Vlad TV. You know, after Straight Outta Compton came out, they did some really cool interviews with a lot of old ex-NWA or Ruthless Record guys, but the D.O.Cs are some of the best because he keeps it real. And his voice is jacked up. Like, his problem, too, is, like, he had a lot of substance abuse issues and was drinking. And when he got in that terrible car accident that messed up his throat, you know, he was drinking that night. They kind of portrayed that a little bit in Straight Outta Compton, but, yeah, I think the D.O.C is one of those that doesn't get enough respect that he should, you know, and he's really heavy on this album, and it's NWA's best shit. So you can kind of see and look back like Suge, you know, cherry picked the talent away from Eazy, and they started Ruthless. So, or not Ruthless, but Death Row. But yeah, I got to give a shout out to that hip hop history. And another birthday shout out too is to Big L. He was born May 30th, 1974. I've talked about Big L a lot on this podcast. He's by far the best punchline rapper of all time, in my opinion. And, you know, when you own Jay-Z on a 7-minute freestyle, that says a lot because Jay-Z's, you know, a bad dude. And they were both like a part of the same clique, so everybody should check out the old freestyles between Jay-Z and Big L. And unfortunately, he was shot a bunch of times in like 99. And he had just signed to Rockefeller too. But yeah, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, that's perfect. Perfect history because like all these particular artists made a difference in my life, especially hip hop wise. So yeah. So let's transition. There's a lot of love. We get a lot of love for this podcast, don't we?
We do.
Just a little bit.
We
Just
do,
a lot.
man.
We do.
Yeah, it's cool. On days when you're overworked and you're exhausted and somebody sends you a nice text or you get a nice message, it's actually pretty awesome.
It's really nice. And we get those. We have
Or there's been a couple like unreasonably affectionate, like I'm saying affectionate, but like really, really nice stuff. And you're like, well, man, that's awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's super nice. But
however, easy how you're speaking, bro. I don't know if you're fan or foe, all right? I don't know what's going on. Like, do you like us? Or I think these are pretty mean. So we have some hate mail.
Say that segment name again.
Easy how you speaking, bro. I don't know if you're fan or foe.
Yeah.
All right.
Just want people to know that this is a segment.
This is a segment. We don't know if you're a fan or you're a foe, but I think these are. I know it's just people talking shit, but that's okay because if nobody's talking shit, then no one's listening.
Well, it's also music, so people have opinions back and forth all the time.
Right. So I'm going to read this hate mail. This is the hate mail special. This is the hate mail section, all right?
In post-production, you want me to add that reverb so it's more dramatic?
Hate mail. Hate mail. Yeah, so here's some hate mail towards Musically Meditated Podcast. I'm not going to say the names of the people that are saying this shit.
Because I wrote this.
And people, keep the love coming and the hate. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, man.
Just keep it coming. Here we go. Hey, Sreten. Let's talk.
That was addressed to me.
Here we go.
All right.
Let's talk about Dave Matthews Band and more talk about the Deftones. Sarcasm. Damn. They're listening.
I'm speechless.
Are you? You have nothing? I mean,
no, just listen to one of their albums. Dave's a wonderful band. Very positive.
But then they're talking shit about me because I talk about the Deftones like every episode.
Well, that's true.
See, and then it says sarcasm. So
I was gonna have a talk with you about like if the Deftones don't come out with new music, how are we gonna have episode content?
That's a good one.
We're gonna run out of stuff to talk about.
Right. So, do you have anything to say to these haters, Sreten? You gonna put them in their place?
Just Dave's coming to Indianapolis.
He knows.
Dave's coming to Indianapolis. I think the end of 2 days show, Friday and Saturday. I think the end of June.
I think you know everything.
Come to the show. No, in July. July 6th and 7th or 7th and 8th. Come meet me there, bro.
Are you gonna wear your red,
We'll
white,
fight in the
blue
parking lot.
board shorts and your Dave cutoff tee?
Yeah, man, you know me so well.
I know.
That's my uniform.
What are you gonna make fun of me about talking about the Deftones all the time?
Nothing.
Let's talk about Dave Matthews Band and more talk about the Deftones. What a smart ass. I'm going to find you. I love it, though. I love it. All right, you want to hear the next one?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
That one caught me off guard.
All right, here we go. If I hear Joe refer to Morrissey one more time, I'm calling the suicide prevention hotline, 1-800-DON'T-DO-IT. Oh.
That's harsh.
That's harsh. You're a mean person. Oh my God. Like, I'm still going to talk about Morrissey, so kiss my fucking grits, you know?
Yeah.
I love Morrissey.
I guess it's a perfect time to pitch Morrissey night.
It is. I was going to do a whole birthday special.
Yeah. We're still going to do it.
We're going to do it.
Not going to stop us.
Because that's
what while we're doing it, we're going to eat carrots.
Carrots.
We're going to stare at pictures of puppies.
All right.
And cute animals, all vegan.
Morrissey would still be pissed, though.
About petting pup? Oh, okay. Then we'll.
I don't know. He's always mad.
He's always mad.
He's always saying something crazy. That's why I love him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't agree with pretty much anything he has to say, but I do respect the fact that Morrissey owns his shit and he'll say what he wants to say. Like, that's one thing he's taught me. Yeah. You know, like, he has his own platform. He has a huge following. A lot of his ideas are crazy, but you know what? Kudos to him.
And his music is wonderful.
His music is wonderful.
Yeah. Girlfriend in a Coma, I know it's serious.
It's so sarcastic.
And if a double-deckered bus
crashes into us
to die by your side
is a heavenly way to die. He's so mean. I wear black on the outside because I'm black on the inside. I mean, we could go on all day.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing all black today. This is for Morrissey's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man.
And that's what I'm transitioning to. It was Morrissey's birthday. I don't know. I think he turned like 59 or 60 or something like that. But hold on. I just want to read that quote one more time. If I hear Joe refer to Morrissey one more time, I'm going to call the suicide prevention hotline, 1-800-DON'T-DO-IT. That's so mean.
That's really mean.
It's really mean.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Thanks for the letter, though.
Right?
Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure. Please, yeah.
Please subscribe and share.
All right. Well, we're going to transition into another rock history thing, and it's not that long ago, and that's what we're going to talk about. It was a big album for me 5 years ago, like I just said, but Deafheaven, Sunbather. A little background about these dudes. They're from San Francisco, the Bay Area. They're mixing a lot of black metal. They call it black gaze, post-metal, screamo. They're with Death Wish Records and Anti Records. The two huge members of the band that always have stuck out to me from knowing their journey is Kerry McCoy and George Clark. They started in like 2010, but this album was dropped in 2013. And the guitar tone for this like really caught my attention. Sreten, you listened to it today. What's your opinion on the musical arrangement of it? Like the guitar, starting with the guitar.
So I like the guitar. So it was hard for me to. You asked me before we started what I thought. It's very, very difficult to separate the music because as a whole, there's a feel to it. Like everything combined feels like something. And to me, it's very relaxing, even though it doesn't sound relaxing because the guitar is not relaxing, but it has a certain melody to it. So if you could help me with the words, it's got like, it's loud, it's noisy, but it has a chill melody to it.
Yeah, this is a good one to put on and let the record spin from front to finish because
and repeat
because it has those. I always say this, but the peaks and valleys of the highs and lows and like especially emotional stuff, and you hear it more through the actual guitar tone than anything else.
Agreed.
Because there's like chaotic parts.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just all over the place.
Yeah.
I know where it's going, but I've listened to a lot of chaotic music throughout the years. But then there's some really beautiful parts. Would you agree?
Oh, I think the whole thing's beautiful. Like it's really cool.
Okay.
And you asked me about the vocals, the drums. The drums are the most distracting part. The vocals to me aren't kind of not even a factor in it. They're there.
And he's one of the main members. Like it's the black metal crazy high pitched vocals.
Yeah.
And I like how you mentioned that too because it's your first listen. They are kind of in the back, but I'm grateful and thankful of that because if they were up front, it would just take away from the beauty of the album and the music.
Agreed. I'm a huge fan of instrumental music just because sometimes specifics to vocals can throw you off. Like if everybody else is playing their instruments and you don't like the person singing, which is a silly thing to say because it's the same thing like if you pick guitar, drums, anything else. But just everything as a whole with this stuff is it sounds like an instrumental piece because the vocals they're really, really in the background. Or there's a lot of elements of this music that's there. It's in your face. You can hear it, but it blends together so well that sometimes it disappears.
Okay.
Like even that double, what do you call it?
The double bass and the back and forth, like the blast beats and stuff with the drums.
You would think it'd be distracting, but you listen for a while and it almost, like you said, it fades away and comes back where you could hear it again. And like I found that there were a few times, like to be honest, I found that double bass thing annoying. But it wasn't. But it would I would just keep listening, and it would kind of fade away and come back.
Okay.
So the whole thing was like, I could meditate to this. As crazy as that sounds, I could actually I could meditate to this music. I could listen to this over and over and over.
It's a great album like that, and it was written solely by Clark, the vocalist, and McCoy, the guitarist. And then they finally added a studio drummer. His name's Daniel Tracy. And he brought his own style, and they called it like Constructed Skeletons because it's a very bare bone back style of drumming, but he matches the fierce, complex kind of shoegazy style. Yeah,
it's fascinating because the guitar it's crazy, it's very fast, which shouldn't be relaxing.
And then it gets really melodic though.
Yes,
so that's the highs and lows of this album that I really, really, I just enjoy. Another thing, here's how Clark described the album. This is quote unquote. He goes, "It's a wealthy, beautiful, perfect existence that is naturally unattainable and struggles and deals with the struggles of reality with your own faults, relationship troubles, family troubles, death, and etc." And this album is a perfect example of that, like of life, of going through the highs and lows in life. Because of like those peaks and valleys, like we were discussing, like it has the chaotic parts, and the vocals are chaotic, and then it just like it'll transform into like almost like a dreamy paradox, like it's beautiful, and then it's bright and it's vibrant, and a lot of traditionalists, like metal traditionalists, especially like black metal dudes, they hate this. They call it like hipster. They call it like hipster gays because with this album they were cross blending shoegaze and black metal. Now, it's been done before. I don't remember the band's names off the top of my head, but this was the first time I ever heard something like that in a package as beautiful as this album looks on the exterior as well, and then listening to it too. Like everything about this album is like the total package. It's like an instant classic, but they hated the fact that they were blending those two types, like the shoegazy and like how beautiful it has it's like how beautiful it is, because all black metal, like traditionalist black metal, is all satanic. There's no in between. Like it's satanic shit. Like
Satan has no chill.
Yeah, Satan doesn't chill. He doesn't sunbathe. I love it, but he doesn't. You know, Satan doesn't. He doesn't
No
sunbathe.
sunscreen for Satan.
He's just an asshole all
No
the
Dave
time.
Matthews Band for Satan.
So those old school black metal dudes are like, this is like hipster shit. Like, why are you blending those two things? Like, whatever, man. Like, I like when this kind of stuff happens because black metal, out of all metal, was like my least favorite. But I was getting into it more as I got older. And then when this came out in 2013, I was really into a lot of shoegaze stuff, like listening to a lot of Ride and Slow Dive. And the inspiration for their band name, Deafheaven, was from Slow Dive, like just like the two, you know, like putting the two together,
right.
If that makes any sense. But, you know, I was listening to a lot of new gays, they call it too, like Nothing and Bobby from Cloakroom. So in my personal life, this just like came at the right time because I like blending those two things because it was kind of like an easy way to digest black metal because those shoegazy weird chords and chord progressions that McCoy was doing on this, like it just fit.
What's funny is the metal guys that are traditionalists, the idea of somebody whose main theme of their stuff is Satan and they're traditionalists is funny.
It is.
Like this is how you need to have satanic themed music and don't veer from that, bro.
Don't.
I don't know how they talk.
Yeah,
Do they say bro?
I don't know what traditionalist black metal dudes say, and I don't give a fuck either.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Like, this came out on Death Wish Incorporated, which is Jacob Bannon from Converge's label. So I keep a close eye on everything that they're putting out.
Right.
And let's get into this album cover. It really caught my attention right away. Great marketing strategy. It's just beautiful. And when you look at it, it's like that soft orange pink.
Lower your voice an octave and describe the album, Joe.
All right, hold on. All right. No, I'm not going to do that. But it's the idea behind it is when you are sunbathing and you have your eyes closed and it's that orangish pink, you know, behind your eyelids, like what you see when you put your eyes to your eyelids. So I thought that was very, very clever. And the guy that did it, I'm going to butcher his name, but I know it's Nick Steinheart or something like that. He's Touche Morris guitarist, and he's just an awesome graphic designer, and he's hooking up with Jacob Bannon over there.
Talk about that font, Joe.
That font.
That font love.
I love font, however you want to say it. I know that annoys people when I say font, so I'm going to say font. But, yeah, you could tell it's like an old school Badani.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. But then he cut it out, and then he was able to sell it at one time. And I was just like obsessed with everything about this album and the way it looks. And they put out this limited edition blanket, and I would have it like for the picture for this podcast, but it's some way in storage because I sold my house and shit. But I bought this really cool like Afghan blanket that they release like a limited release.
Nice.
Yeah. But what do you think? Don't you think it's a sexy ass album cover?
It's very sexy. That Bodani takes it over the top.
But yeah, it's a beautiful record.
It's just real simple. It's nice. It's cool.
Simple's where it's at.
I'm a fan of simple. I am simple.
You're a simple man.
I'm a simple man.
You're a simple man. But let's transition into my personal story with this. As far as, you know, what was going on in 2013, you know, I think I had just turned 30 years old. Life was a little bit rough. I was having problems like with, you know, certain career choices and work and relationship and whatnot. But what this album really reminds me of, and especially revisiting it, was I listened to this a lot when my grandfather was dying. It was his last days at the Riley House in Munster. He was battling dementia and Alzheimer's, and I would have to drive from Burns Harbor from work all the way there to Munster, and I would put this on for whatever reason. I think it was just already such a big part of what I was listening to, but I would just put this on, and it's about that distance travel is about 45 minutes, almost to an hour, and that's how long this album is. And like there was something about it that made me like accept the death and accept the final days were coming, but then also be strong, like for my mother and, you know, my father,
and
but
for yourself,
especially
so you
mother.
probably appreciate
and
that time too.
Yeah. So it was perfect, you know, like that's why I really wanted to talk about this, because it was hard to revisit it. but it was just it was a hard time in my life, and it was perfect just to make that travel and go back, because there's a lot of, I'll go back to the the ups and downs with this, that it's very relatable to human emotion. And there's those chaotic crazy times, and there's those really pretty times. So I was able to reflect back more on not the last days of my grandpa's existence here on earth, but reflect back to the good ones. And then when shit would get a little chaotic and a little crazy on this, then like get mad about that as well. But that's what I really remember about this. It was just a perfect time in my life for this to come out and somehow, some way, emotionally deal with that time and that everything situation that was going on. And a powerful album will do that to you. Like a certain song will remind you about a certain time, and you can reflect back, and that's what this does. And it was a really hard time, but I was really appreciative to be able to go back emotionally and deal with it. Like listening to this and thinking about it was very therapeutic at the time.
Yeah.
So I thank all the guys from Sunbather for making this. It sounds extremely selfish right now, but it really got me through a hard time, and doing that, like seeing a loved one's last days, and he was dealing with the dementia and the Alzheimer's for a while, and that's a really bad way to go. But when you're going to hospice and seeing your grandfather, and every day after work, going there and then putting on a certain tune to make you go, to not bitch out, and be there and be a part of your family and see his last days. This shit's real to me, this was a really inspirational album to get through that. And I think I'm putting it together with the highs and the lows, because you get, grief is a really hard thing. Everybody takes that their own way. And with this, with the highs and the lows of the album, it was a good way to cry half the way there.
Right.
And a good way to get pissed off. So yeah, that's what I relate this album to. Sorry for the buzzkill.
No, it's not a buzzkill.
Yeah.
And I just blew out the mic. Sorry. No, it's not a buzzkill. It's what's so special about music. It's what's the thing we talk about all the time. It's what connects. When they talk about proof of a soul or whatever anybody's spirituality is, a lot of time it has a lot of people can't explain it any other way than giving examples of certain types of music that move them or get them through stuff or connect them. It's also like time traveling, like both things. I know I'm mixing both themes.
No, but yeah.
But why would a certain noise make you feel a certain way or do a certain thing or get you through something? It doesn't make any sense. It's just electricity moving through a piece of plastic and wood, wires. Same with drums, all that. But for some reason, you connect it all together, and it's something indescribable that can get past languages. Somebody from Europe, somebody from Mexico, somebody from the United States, they listen to the same song and have the same emotional reaction, or totally different ones, but they connect to the music. That's what's special about music. I'm talking in super huge generalities.
No. You're making total sense. And revisiting it today and then yesterday, because I saw that yesterday was the birthday of it. It's only 5 years, but looking back, who I was 5 years ago to who I am today in comparison, it's two different people.
But it's crazy how you can close your eyes, sit in your car, replicate the scenario.
Yeah.
Take that same drive, put the album on, and drive, and see if you don't feel like you've time traveled.
Right.
See if you don't stop at an intersection that's still there, and for a second you close your eyes and you're in the same spot. I do that with certain songs too, and it's a good and a bad thing. There's times when I want to get real hype or excited or get emotional and remember or pay respects to people that aren't around. There's certain music, certain songs, certain scenarios or meals or something, or even drinks where you have that and you can go back to that place maybe for a split second, not for a long time. I don't think you can hold those
same kind of emotions,
those things for long.
Yeah,
but at least to have little snapshots of it to remember, it's super special. So that's your I'm buzzkilling at you or whatever. Good. That's my
no, it's perfect. That's a
no, it's great.
Great way to explain it and describe it, because that's unfortunately, but somewhat fortunately, what this album means to me. It took me back to that time, and you learn from your mistakes and you grow as a person from what you've encountered, and that's what that represents to me. All the personal shit I was going through in 2013 was one thing. But the person, strongest man, one of the best men I've ever loved in my life, my Grandpa Whitaker, James Whitaker, rest in peace. Like, that helped me say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really personal.
Another special thing is when you do remember, when you have an attachment like this with music, you remember it in a somber, melancholy, positive way.
And that's what this album is, though. That's like perfect. I like how you said that. Like, that's what it is to me. It's a somber, melancholy, like, beautiful thing. It has those highs and lows. It's perfect.
The beauty of the shit of life.
Yeah.
When life gets shitty.
Yeah.
You remember it in a beautiful way.
In a beautiful way, and you got to persevere and move on. So, like I said, man, shout out to all those guys from Sunbather. They're actually they had another album called Bermuda. It came out a few years later. They have a new album coming out now, and they're going to be in Chicago within the next couple months. So I've never got to see them live, but I want to. But yeah, I love this album. That's all I got to say about it. And it brings me back. But let's get rid of the buzzkill and all the sob talk. But it is what it is. And now we're going to transition to don't like what you like. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So recently, a rapper named Pusha T came out with a diss track against Drake. Have you heard this?
No, I don't listen.
You don't keep up with this?
I'm sorry, Drake. I'm sure you make wonderful music. No knock against you, but I don't listen to your music. I have no interest in it. It's the same thing. Like I said, I know you guys are boys. But I get the same feeling, and it's not his fault. It's just the way that my brain works. When I see anything about the Kardashians, I keep scrolling on my Google. When I see anything about Drake, I know, but when I see anything about Drake, I get the same reaction, and they're totally different people.
You vomit in your mouth.
He's a creative. He's an actor. He makes stuff. He's actually a funny guy. I've seen him host award shows. He's a very charming dude. He can't be that popular and be a douche. He's got a wonderful smile. Aside from all that, no. I don't care. So, as a result, I don't care about Pusha T either.
Damn. Sreten shitting my Cheerios here.
Hey, I don't like what you like.
Don't like what you like. Well, here's what I don't like about this whole situation. All right. And I'm defending Drizzy. So, I don't know.
We'll be on the show in a couple weeks. Surprise.
Surprise. Drizzy Drake's here. The essence of hip hop, and especially the history of it as well. Diss tracks is where it's at, right? I mean, what's your favorite diss track? You like Hit 'Em Up by Tupac? You look like a Hit 'Em Up by Tupac kind of guy.
No, I didn't. Don't ask me that.
Why?
I don't know enough to answer that.
All right. But the essence and history of hip hop, there's always a diss track, so I'm cool with that. It's a big part of it, and it creates hype, and it's awesome. But Pusha T here, he's a way better rapper in my opinion than Drake. He's not on the same commercial level. He's from the Clips. For those of you that remember the Clips, they're a great duo, him and his brother from Virginia. Grindin' was the song. They worked with Pharrell from Neptune, so on and so forth. But he is a better MC than Drake with the wordplay and the delivery. But he attacks Drake on this from such a personal level, I think it's below him. And that's what I don't like. You know, if you're going to do a diss track, keep it somewhat clean. You know, he's attacking.
Make fun of his dance moves.
Yeah,
the internet.
Or or whatever he's wearing. But he's coming after something happened with Drake. Like he impregnated a porn star. Apparently,
oops,
whoops, shit happens. Should have pulled out, Drake. He impregnated a porn star, and then he had the baby, and I guess he didn't help out or something. So Pusha T's like coming at him from that direction, and I feel like that's below Pusha T, and it's not cool. You know, taking shots at another guy's family or their wife or their kids is just kind of like, for me personally, like that's not okay. How do you feel about that?
I agree. No bueno.
No bueno?
Yeah.
Okay.
Step up your game, Pusha T.
Pusha T's stepping up. Why you got to take shots at his stripper side piece?
Yeah.
You know, that's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
That's all you got to say.
Sorry, I hope that my tone reflects how much I care about these two guys. But I agree with you. Like, be creative.
Be creative. Like, he's being creative in like a whole new disrespectful level.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was like, ooh, like everything was just cringeworthy. So if he's wanting to win the best diss rap track cringeworthy award of all time, then
You want to say
winning.
something so that as you punctuate the last line of whatever your diss is, if there's a group of 10 or more people, everybody can go, oh, not, oh.
Salt in the wound.
So we want the right reaction, not the wrong
Because
reaction.
Drake's just going to be a wuss about it. I think he already like he's not going to come back with a track. Like he's just a nice, sensitive guy. It's kind of like this. Like when you're on the recess field, okay, and you're a cool kid, you're kind of strong, and then you pick a fight with the weakling, right? Like why are you doing that? Why the bully shit? You know, like why are you going to mess with the nice kid? It's just shitty, and that's kind of what Pusha T's doing here. He's just like bullying Drake, and I don't get it. Be nice. It's kind of like when Tupac did that with Biggie Smalls, remember?
Yes.
Because I boofed your girl, you overweight guy. is that
Word for word
PC version? But
That's right.
that was pretty mean of Tupac. Like, come on, man. Like, why you
Yeah.
got to take shots at guys' girls? I'm not into that.
Yeah. But I also think, I think he said that, Tupac said that because he wanted to really, really,
Dig deep.
yeah.
And that's what Pusha T's doing, right? But he's
Yeah,
talking
but
about
there's
his
no point to
kids.
it. Yeah, there's no point to that.
I'm talking about people's
They have the
kids.
same hate between each other.
Yeah.
Plus,
So-
Tupac would occasionally, for all the Tupac lovers, he would occasionally say something where you get that reaction like, that's a little too much.
He had a big mouth on him.
Yeah.
And it caught up with him. That's my opinion on Tupac. He had a big mouth. You
Yeah, a
can
lot of
say
those
whatever
guys
you
do.
want, but there's always repercussions. And that's
A lot
what
of hip hop guys do. A lot of musicians do.
Yeah, but Biggie didn't ever like come out like that and say like, I don't know. He
Yeah,
never.
that's true. Yeah.
Just Tupac always had something to say. So, loudmouths finished last, right? Or the loudest one in the room's the weakest in the room, right, Sreten?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your tidbits on this. But back again, we're going to transition into closing out here. Check out Musically Meditated on YouTube. Go ahead.
YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio.
That's all of them. It's on everything.
It's on everything.
Same with Green Door Network. Check it all out.
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram.
What an idiot. I forgot Instagram.
Forgot Instagram.
Stupid idiot.
We need Snapchat too. Those are all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
What the kids are using. That's what the
all
article
the
said
kids are
last
doing.
week.
Is it?
Yep. The biggest uptick is in Facebook's going down. Snapchat's going up.
Okay. I have a Snapchat. We'll do it on Snapchat. But everybody, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Check out the other episodes too. We had a controversial one. Sreten was against that. Boom.
I actually liked it. Once we recorded, posted, and everything, I enjoyed it very much.
Check that out. We take shots at Kanye West and Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Are we shouting out Josh?
Yeah, shout him out.
You do it.
And tonight,
You do it.
Josh, you got to get in here. You got to talk for a second.
Oh, I put the mic down.
Well, let him sit in your seat.
It's still.
Oh, is it still functional? We have our homie Josh here. He was filming all day and taking shots tonight. Hold on, we'll get right there.
Oh, I can hear myself this time.
There you go. We're helping you out. But yeah, Josh came today and he was recording a lot of shots. We went to multiple places too. Like he was taking some pictures and some video footage, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little video piece on Joe.
Thanks, man.
Give him some video content.
Yeah, we need some video content.
Baby.
Yeah, a
That
bunch
Josh
of it.
Allen bump.
Yeah, get that Josh Allen bump. He's doing big things, man. Josh, go ahead.
Do you mind if I give out your contact info in case somebody wants to hear and
Yeah.
use your services?
Yes, for sure.
All right, ready? I'm going to read everything off the card. So on Instagram, it's at Josh Allen _95. His name obviously is Josh Allen, ALLEN, ALLEN. He is a video and media production specialist. Is that a good word? Specialist?
We'll go with that.
All right. JoshAllenMedia@gmail.com. If you have any questions, if you want to see, you're going to see what he can do. If you like what he does, reach out to him.
For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully do a couple more projects for the Green Door Network here. I enjoy working with you guys. I'm trying not to bust my balls laughing over here.
Well, I'm glad it was an entertaining episode.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Joe needs to do a diss track.
Dude, who am I going to diss?
I don't know.
Like Sreten and I should just have our own inner thing? No, I don't know.
Maybe
I do
with
need
that
a diss track.
maybe
dang it, Josh.
maybe
I'm trying
with
to
that
stay away from
segment
that
with all the
positivity.
haters, like just take a comment and like just do a diss track on a hater.
I was talking about that with someone like doing a rap off. I think it was Gabe from Grindhouse. Like, let's do a rap off thing. He's like,
I'll
I'm
do a
totally
rap
into
off.
it.
I'll out rap all of you.
You won't.
Fools. Suckers.
You got that total old school approach, like fools, suckers, get on up.
You know
to
who my
be honest,
mentor
I
is?
don't think I would want to get in a rap battle with Sreten. I feel like
You know who my
he's
mentor
Like he's
is?
well read.
Yeah, I feel like he would just chew your ass off.
I don't want to talk about Pusha T or Drake. They suck, but I will destroy you in a rap battle.
Right.
Destroy you. I come from that iced tea attitude.
From that iced tea.
Iced tea era.
Real quick, what did you think about the Pusha T Drake thing?
I haven't heard Pusha's thing, but I definitely agree. Like the whole thing is like it's a little weird when you start getting like that personal.
That personal.
And then like you mentioned with Tupac, like those personal shots, like it's that gets to be a little bit much. I don't know like how much Ice Cube pushes the line in No Vaseline, but that's one of my favorite tracks. So maybe I can't have an opinion.
Yeah, but
on that.
he wasn't attacking their wife or their kids.
True. Okay, so then I
There
guess so
was a
that's like an
line.
appropriate diss track then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I like my favorite diss track is Real Motherfucking G's by Eazy-E.
See, that's another good one.
Yeah, he just attacks Dre and Snoop. He's like in the hood. They like shut down Compton. Like
Right.
seriously, like the story behind that, like Suge went there, Suge Knight from Death Row, and was trying to pay extra so that video couldn't happen because he knew how much credibility Eazy had in the streets. Like he just went where he wanted to. Like he just would go where he wanted to. But that was like my favorite diss track.
And then would it have been Dre? I can't remember what the song was for, but there's a music video where they had like a
Easy getting killed and shit. That was Dre
Yeah.
Day. That's where it started.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that was the first one.
That was the first one.
Oh, okay.
Because when I was talking about Alpha 4 Zag and that album, that was like right around now in 1991, and then Dre came out with The Chronic in late 92.
Right.
And Dre started firing shots at Eazy first because he was a part of Ruthless Records and stuff. So
Right.
Dre Day was a total shot at Ruthless Records and Eazy-E. So then Eazy just kind of like stood back, and Dre was doing great. He was doing well. And then he came out the following year with It's on Dr. Dre 187 Come Up. Like it was a whole EP just directed towards Dre and Snoop and Death Row, which was a really ballsy thing to do back then because Death Row was a powerhouse, and they were for basically all the 90s. So shout out to Eazy-E. I'm loyal.
I remember when it
I'm
came
loyal.
out, and it kind of there was like nothing for a little bit, and then he came out with that, and everybody was kind of anticipating it. And then after that he passed away soon after that, I think, right?
Well, that came out in 93. Easy passed away in the beginning of 95. So yeah, because he stopped focusing so much on like the beef with Dre and Death Row and put all of his energy into Bone Thugs and Harmony. And
But that track I remember it was just killer.
it was killer because it really wasn't like that radio savvy either. It was like street shit. Like it was like the best. That's like the best street diss track like ever, in my opinion.
I feel like rap beefs back in that time were just so much more interesting because they really had to use like their words and they really had to come at each other like on the tracks because you didn't have social media.
Right.
You didn't have like Twitter and stuff like that because I think that's where like in the past that's where Drake has had a lot of beef.
Like Twitter shit.
Yeah, like Twitter stuff and
Making fun of people's pictures of like spaghetti and cheeseburgers and shit.
right.
Some real wholesome.
Why would he say that?
Wholesome shit. Yeah, like nothing really mean, but just kind of being like a shitty older brother. That's Drake on social media.
Yeah.
But here's the thing to think about too. Pusha T just came out with that new album produced by Kanye. So what's the best thing to get even more eyes on you is come after the most powerful guy in rap in the past 5 to 6, 10 years, which is Drake. So it was all calculated, right? He just comes out with a new album and then he comes after,
that's
like I
true.
said, like the kid on the playground that can't defend himself. And I thought that was kind of shitty.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah. Eazy-E always said that, but we could debate that as well.
Yeah, I always debate that.
Yeah, we could debate that.
I
But
like positivity and rainbows.
but yeah, I was curious, like your opinion on that.
Yeah,
Are you a Drake fan?
Yeah, I like Drake. I definitely stand with that opinion though. Don't leave the kids out of it.
Yeah.
Because that's messed up.
That's like fighting words. Man.
Yeah, and you got to understand, like, that kid is going to grow up and, like, hear that track one day.
And he's going to know his whole background because
right.
of... Not
That's
cool.
messed up.
Not messed up. Yeah, it's not good. No boy.
Not cool.
Not cool. Sreten gives it a not cool. But, yeah, Josh, thanks for joining us, dude.
For sure. Thanks for
Thanks for
having me on.
shooting all the footage, and we're looking forward to it.
We're actually not done working. We still got to, like, do this little interview after.
Thanks for shooting from my good side. Also.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, good.
My skinny side. I did all ab crunches on my left side, not my right side.
Thanks for letting me wear the. God damn it! What's the thing to make yourself feel skinnier?
A garter belt?
Yeah. Thanks for no.
Oh. Not a garter belt. What's that called?
I don't know.
A brassiere?
It's going to take me 20 minutes to think of the word.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for checking us out. Check out Josh Allen. We'll have all of his information in the description. He will shoot some marvelous, marvelous footage of you and your skinny sides.
That's right.
All right? And a lot of sepia tones.
Thanks. The plug, Sreten, that was fantastic. I think I'm going to just have you, anytime I have anybody plug me, I'm going to be like, no, I got a guy. Let me.
Got a guy.
Yeah.
We plug all the time.
Yeah.
Let me
Professional
just have him record.
plugs.
I could just so you know, I also can add reverb in post-production.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Adios. I'm musically meditated.
That's right.
I'm musically meditated. That's right. I'm musically meditated.
Producer my ass over there.